Welcome back to my channel, everyone, and I welcome any new viewers to this channel. I'd like to remind the viewers that my videos are nuggets of information that I put out there, and along with that, I try to bring out characters in the Bible that are rarely spoken of from the pulpit, or sometimes we don't even hear about them at all from church pulpits. As you can see, the title of this video is called The 19 Tribes of David. I decided to do this video because I did not know that David had 19 sons. And frankly, I think there were many people who didn't realize that either. So now let me go right into this video. Now let me introduce you to the 19 sons of David. I'm not going to mention the mother's name, with the one exception. I will mention her name later. I'm going to start with Amnon, Caleb, or he's also called Daniel, Absalom, Adonijah, Shephatiah, Ephraim. And then we have the four sons that was born to David in Jerusalem by the mother, Bathsheba. She's the exception that I'm mentioning. And I'm mentioning her because I have a side joke to myself that I say about Bathsheba. I always say her real name is Sheba, because that's a very popular name in that time, the name Sheba. But I think they called her Bathsheba as a nickname because David saw her taking a bath, and it, later on when they tell the oral stories, it went down the line as, somebody decided to nickname her Bathsheba because of how David actually saw her for the first time. That's my side joke. So let me introduce you to David and Bathsheba's four boys. We have Solomon, Shemua. He's also called or it could be Shimea. We have Shobab. We have Nathan. Shobab, Nathan. And I want to mention that David and Bathsheba lost their first child. So they had 5 children but lost the first one. Now the interesting thing about this David boys is David had 9 other sons from other wives. And they are Abihar, Elishua, Elipelet, Noga, Nepeg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, and Elipelet. And he had one daughter, Absalom's full sister. Her name is Tamar. Now let's look at the 4 sons that are highlighted. I'm going to start with Amnon, the firstborn. He was killed by Absalom for raping Tamar, Absalom's full sister. It may have been Absalom killed Amnon because David, their father, did not consequence Amnon for what he did to Tamar. It could also be the catalyst that led to the friction or the struggles between David and Absalom. And it also could be what contributed to Absalom's desire for the throne. He may have been so disappointed with his father that it was a way for him getting revenge on his father for letting Amnon off. Absalom was later killed by David's general Joab. The next son is Adonijah. Now, I'm not sure who is aware of the fact that Adonijah also wanted to usurp the throne. It wasn't Absalom alone. Most of us know about the story about Absalom and David with Absalom trying to, to be king, but not many of us, or not many people, many pastors or preachers talk about Adonijah's wanting to also take the throne. And it was actually Solomon who ordered the execution of Adonijah for his attempt to take the throne. You will find that's the story between Solomon and Adonijah in the book of in First Kings, chapters 1 and 2. It's really good reading and an interesting story. Now, the last son that I'm going to speak about is Solomon. Solomon is the most known son of David. Of David's 19 boys, Solomon is the most known of them all. And he's quite famous. And he's not just famous because he was crowned king. There are other things about him that would make people talk about him all the time. There's the Solomon and the Queen of Sheba story. He's known for his wisdom and labeled as one of the wisest person ever lived, apart from the Messiah himself. He's also known as one of the richest men that had ever lived. In modern time, he's now listed as the second richest man that had ever lived, because the richest man in the history of humankind is now listed as Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa was the emperor of the Mali Empire. And then the next thing that Solomon is known for is the man with the 1,000 women. The Bible says he had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Now, those could be inflated numbers if hyperbole was used. And we do know that there are times, stories in the Bible, hyperbole is used, and this may be one of them. But regardless if it's hyperbole or if it's factual that he did have 1,000 women, which is hard for me to believe, to be honest. What I want to bring out about the women and the wives and concubine is that they were a diverse group of ladies. They were not all Israelite women. They were Egyptians, Moabites, Edomites, Sidonians, Cushites, Hittites, and I'm sure there are other numerous ethnic backgrounds of women that are not mentioned. I mean, if with 1,000, how would they be able to mention all of them, right? That makes perfect sense. Now, when we go back to King David and his 19 boys, when you look at them also, they were all they basically were, except for the four from Solomon and not Solomon, from David and Bathsheba, except for the four that shared the same mother. The rest of them were basically single mothers with these boys, and they too were a diverse group of women. Now let we add David, Solomon, Moses, Joseph, who Moses and Joseph who also married outside of Israel. When you look at those four patriarchs, their descendants would be quite the diverse group of children. So when you take all of that together and you go right back to the 10 tribes, the 12 tribes of Israel and the mothers of those boys as well, can you not see the diversity in the tribes of Israel? Israel is by no stretch of the imagination an homogeneous group of people. They are not homogeneous at all. They are quite the diverse group of people, and no one group can claim them. And I think that's where I'm going to leave this video. I thank you for watching.